Welcome to the sales module in the Digital Expert Foundation. Now you've gotten to a point where you've gotten leads and you need to start selling them and you don't really know what to do. What's the next step? What I want to do is I want to be able to help you use the simplest steps that I've been able to build my entire sales career around. We're going to break down some simple things that I've learned that anybody can implement right away into the sales world. Doesn't matter if you're selling something for $1,000 or if you're selling something for $10,000 or even higher. This exact simple strategy that I'm going to teach you today is exactly what I've learned and what I've put into effect over the years, over the last 15 years of selling door-to-door, in-home sales, online, software sales, you name it. This is literally what I've taught my teams that I've built in the past, what I currently use today, and what I will be teaching for a very, very long time. In the process of that as well, what we're going to be going through is I'm going to be talking about a couple of books that I highly recommend for you to get and read immediately so that you understand when you get into the sales world how to even just communicate with people, how to be able to gain their influence, how to be able to close them, etc. So let's jump right into this video. The 4 simple steps that you need to pay attention to with any sale. Can this be broken out into multiple steps later on? Yes. But what you need to understand is this is the foundation to your future. So the step 1 of this entire process is the opening. When you're opening a sale, a lot of the times most people are too focused on wanting to be the perfect person. They want to be making sure that they have a specific way of understanding how to open the person. They want, like, whether they're door knocking, if the lead calls or whatever. Now, let me tell you a little story. When I did door-to-door sales, a lot of the times we would literally knock on the door and we had 3 seconds before we had to make an impression on that person. And once that person opened the door, if we didn't make an impression within 3 seconds, we had another 10 seconds to literally buy our time back and gain rapport with them, or else it was all over. Within 13 seconds, we knew if we could continue that conversation or we didn't. Okay, so we used to do a lot of other stuff in the door-to-door sales. The simplest one that we used to teach all the time is we just go for the apology. Okay, like that's a lot of the times, especially if you're going out of nowhere. Like if you're cold calling, the apology in the opening sentence is one that always works. Now, a lot of your leads that are going to be coming through, you're going to be getting a name, an email, a phone number, and you're going to be picking up that phone and dialing them. When you're dialing someone on the other end, you don't know what they're up to. You don't know what is currently going on unless it's scheduled into your calendar and they've picked a time. My suggestion, okay, my immediate suggestion when you open a lead, when you get a lead, is to call them within, okay, I'm not even kidding you, within the first 36 hours. Because anything longer than 36 hours, okay, that lead is dead, pretty much dead. Now you want to start building part 2 of the sales script, and part 2 of the sales script is going to be your rapport. When you're building rapport with them, what you want to do is, the typical rapport scenario that we were taught back in the day through door-to-door sales or anything else is ask them about something about that their friends, their family, their finances. Those are the F's of building rapport. But rapport in today's day and age is you want to be quick, you want to be short, and you want to make sure that no matter what you say, you are coming across like you are interested in them. Forget about you, forget about your company, and forget about what you're going to sell them for about 30 seconds to 3 minutes, okay? So when I jump into it, be like, awesome, John, let's jump right into it. Now, let me ask you, I know yesterday you were in a meeting or you were in a lunch, or did that work out well? Was that profitable for you or something like that? Because that goes to show that you're paying attention to whatever they said to you yesterday when you call them back. If this is a cold call and you'll be like, when you first thing they say, yeah, I have 10 minutes right now, be like, awesome, how's your day going today? And then you just literally simple questions. You want them to open up. You want them to say things. They're going to tell you if their day is going good. They're going to tell you if their day is going shit. They're going to tell you, that they're excited that their kids got a tournament tonight or some shit like that. You never know what they're going to say. Use that. Have a chat about that for a couple of minutes. Okay, like 2 to 3 minutes is all you need to kind of go on. Ask them maybe one more question. Get them to talk about it. If they're going to ramble on, they've got more than 10 minutes. You're safe. If they're very, very short and quick with you, make sure you respect their time, because you need to make sure that you're still staying in authority. Because the entire time we do any sales, we want to make sure from front to back we're sitting in authority. If you're not, you're going to lose. And that is okay, because that is what I like to call a learning lesson inside of your sales program. Now, once you've built rapport, okay, you want to go directly into open-ended questions. And one of the books that I suggest, I don't have it here today because I just recently gave it away, is a book called Spin Selling and open-ended questions. And we're going to do a lot of this inside of the script. We're going to go through the script in another video as well. Is going to be open-ended questions. And what I mean by open-ended questions, be like, now, John, can you please do me a favor and tell me what intrigued you about when you A, either saw our ad, or B, went to our website, whichever way they came from. If they came from your website, they probably just searched your website and kind of came there. So be like, what intrigued you to fill out the form and work with us? And then shut up. Literally. You say that because that is an open-ended question. Now you want them to talk. Well, they're going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you what, why they came there, what's going on with their business. If they don't give you one-word answers, be like, totally, John, I totally understand that, you want me to give you a little bit more in-depth information. But for me to serve you better, and for me to give you the best results that I can for the services that you're looking for or for the product that you're looking for, I need to know a little bit more. So if you can just do me a little bit of a favor, can you expand on that for me, please? So whatever they said, whatever that short amount of thing that they said, just ask them to expand on it. Because as soon as they expand on it, you're getting them to talk. Start taking notes. Literally, when I'm sitting in front of my sales, if you look at any of my sales calls, if I'm ever sitting on, I'm taking notes like a madman. And the reason why I'm doing that is because at any given time, that one little tidbit of information that they gave you at the beginning of the call or the first qualifying call is going to serve you when it's time for you to close them and if you end up with objections, okay? That is what you want to do. Make sure you are taking notes, because if you're taking notes over the entire process, you're just building yourself a pitch deck for them to close them later. Now, let's say they go through the entire thing, they tell you what's going on with your service or product, and then you built rapport with them. So you've opened them, you've built rapport with them, you've asked them open-ended questions, you've got them moving. The third part of this entire sales process is now you want to go into what I like to call your pitch. Okay, now when you get into your pitch, what you want to be talking about is what you have to offer, okay? You've built rapport. So that entire time, from the time you've opened to the time you get them to tell you why they've chosen you, before you even talk about your product or your service, all you've done is qualify them. Because if they don't qualify themselves, they're not a lead for you to work with. Okay, you need to be okay with that. And you need to be okay with standing up for yourself as an authority in whatever you are selling. Because if you are not standing up as an authority, you are going to end up working with clients. You're going to end up working with people that you do not want to work with. And we've all been there. Guilty as charged. I've done it. I've literally worked with clients that I probably should have never closed, okay? Qualify your clients. Qualify your prospects. Using those exact scripts, once you get to a point where you get in the pitch, be like, awesome, John. Now, as you told me the last couple of minutes, your business needs X, Y, and Z help, or your personal life needs X, Y, and Z help, or your health needs X, Y, and Z help, depending on what you're selling. You can be selling a personal product, a personal service, a business product, a business service. It doesn't matter. You need X, Y, and Z help. Now, part of the reason we're on a call here, clearly we've already built a little bit of rapport prior to us even jumping on this call. You like what we have to offer as a service. Now, is this a good time for us to continue on and have a chat about this? Or would you like us to book another call so that we can make sure that we serve you at the best rate possible? And the reason why I want to do that right off the bat is I want to judge buying temperature. A lot of the times if they say, yeah, today's a good time, you know that pain point that you've already gotten from them is so hot that you need to get that lead closed as soon as possible, okay? So this is where we're going to get into the pitch. So when we go 36 hours, when you're pitching somebody, if you're not pitching them immediately and you've not bought that time, I will a lot of the time schedule of what is supposed to be a qualifying call 10 minutes into my calendar. I'll schedule 45 minutes to an hour into my calendar for that, because the chances of me continuing into a sales pitch and closing them is very high. And when you do that with the right open-ended questions, like you're going to get through this entire video and the script later on, you're going to start to notice that yourself, okay? So if they say no for whatever reason, you want to make sure that your call to pitch them is within 3 daes, okay? Within 3 days. And the reason why I say within 3 days, because anything past 3 days, you've built enough rapport that you've got a little bit of buying temperature, that the 3-day mark is still, people are busy, people have got lives going on, they might be going on vacation or whatever for a weekend, you might be getting them on a Friday, you want to try and jump on a call with them on a Monday. And the reason you want to do that within 3 days is because once that 3-day mark comes in, now your buying temperature again starts to drop, because they've started thinking about it, they maybe gone and done a little bit more research, all that good stuff. If that happens, now we're going to get into the pitch. If that doesn't happen, you're going to get into your pitch. Be like, awesome, John. Well, guess what? Now, the reason why, let me explain to you how we work. I'm not even going to talk about my service or my product at this point in time. I'm just going to talk about how we work. And I'm going to explain to them the service, like what we have to provide, our experience. So I'm going to qualify, now I'm going to reverse engineer to them, build a little bit of rapport with them on our end. They've built rapport with me. I'm going to build rapport with them. So you're going to flip it. Okay. You've asked them questions to understand them better, made them feel good about themselves. Now you're going to reciprocate that. I'm going to tell them a little bit about how we work, what we're going to offer. And then I go right into the pitch. And I'm going to say, at this point, what I want to do is I want to offer you one of two things. I want to offer you working with us, or potentially just taking what I'm about to share with you and you going in and using it on your own. And let me ask you, if we're this far into our conversation, is it okay for me to be able to invite you to come work with us? And then I just shut up. And when I say that, a lot of the times, what do you think they're going to say? Yes. At this point in time, I've already gotten multiple yeses. Now I'm going to start going for open-ended questions where I want to know what's their barrier to entry and what's going to stop them. So when I'm pitching them, so whatever your pitch is, whether it's $1,000 a month to be a personal trainer with them, whether it's $3,000 a month to do their SEO or Facebook ads, I don't know what you're selling. Whatever you're selling, make sure you ask them, is it okay? Go into the pitch. And the reason you want to do that is when you're going to go pitch that to them is you want to let them choose, because then you can kind of see where their head's at. Always ask questions. That is why I suggest the book Spin Selling. I'm going to link it throughout the entire bottom of this course. Go and grab it from Amazon because you are going to want to read that book. It's one of the best books in my opinion. I've read that book. I've given that book out so many times. It's not even friggin' funny. One of the guys that's coming to work with us loves that book because his entire career is built around it too. The last part of the entire thing. You have to learn to close them. This is where you're going to collect the one thing and one thing that matters, the money in your bank account, okay? And at the end of the day, what's gonna matter the most than the money is you delivering on what you're about to offer. Do not ever forget that. Whatever you learn from me through the next little bit in sales, use it to your good. Do not put this to anything where it could be hurt and harmful to other people, because I'm going to teach you some sales techniques that you should be only using to help and serve other people. I'm prefacing that right now. So now you go into that, be like, does that work for you? Is this something that you're looking to get started in today? Then, or they're already going to start opening up their objections. Be like, okay, so why is it so much? Or how can we make it work? Blah, 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 blah. Yep, ready to go. Let's get started. If someone says that to you, yep, ready to go, let's get started, or anything in that context, your next words out of your mouth, awesome, what's your credit card number? And you want to just go there and just get the sale. Because if you say anything more than that, you've now shot yourself in the foot, you just shot that sale in the foot, okay? That is the simplest close. Let's reverse engineer back. And let's say you've got a couple of objections. And I'm going to give you this, like I said, I'm going to give you guys a sales script at the end of this entire thing where you're going to be able to see any potential objections. Now, if you have objections, send them to the support. A lot of the times, if you just do a little bit of research, you'll find that I've already answered this somewhere within the community. So when I go for that, the next part of the sale with them is going to be, all right, John, so it's X price. As I've stated, you're getting all of this stuff. Are you ready to get started? And I just shut up. And the reason you want to just shut up is because you want them to talk first. And it's not the whole cliche of whoever speaks first wins, as much as it is true, because even if they speak first or you speak first, the whole point you want them to speak first is, even if they say no, I want them just to say no because I want to know why. And if they say, I don't know if this makes the most sense for me right now. And then this is where all of those notes that you've taken throughout the entire sales process is going to help you, okay? You want to use those notes for advantage. Be like, you know what, John, totally understand. I want to make this as fair as possible for both for you and for me. And let me ask you, why was it at the beginning of the call that you mentioned when I asked you, when we asked you, what was the reason you chose to work with us versus somebody else? Get them to reiterate that again. Be like, okay, so you've done your research, you understand what the going rate in the market is, you understand what we have to offer. I've shared with you everything that we have to offer, and yet there's some hesitation that I can sense on a call. Am I right? And you want them to say, yes, you're right. Be like, okay, What is that hesitation? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me if we decide to work together or not. I just want you to make a very genuine decision on which way you're going to go, whether it's working with us or not, or taking it in-house. And I want to be able to answer every single question before we get off this call today, and whether we partner to work together or not. And that completely diffuses anything moving forward when you're sitting there and actually wanting to work with them. And when I say that, a lot of the times now the real objection comes up. I got to talk to a partner. I don't know if I can afford it. The price objection thing we're going to do in the foundation or in the elite program. We're going to be talking about how to literally break down price, because it's one of the ones that to me never really matters. And the reason why is because if your lead's qualified and you've already qualified them, when you get to the price, you know they can already afford it. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video. This is the sales module inside of Digital Expert Foundation. Any questions you have, put them below, because the team's going to be taking a look at it. They're going to be answering it to you. We're going to be finishing up the script for you, putting it in as well. Go ahead and fill out the script. Use the script to your advantage, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.